Hey guys, Sean here. Today I want to break down the most successful T-side strat in CSGO Major history. I'm saying that without doing any research, but I'm going to go ahead and say off the top of my head, no strat had a better success rate than this T-side strategy that Cloud9 ran at the last major, where they went 6-0 throughout the entire tournament. They ran it against every opponent they played on Mirage. So we're talking VP, Vega Squadron, G2, SK, and FaZe. So they ran it twice against one opponent. So we're going to look at every time they ran this strat and why this sexy beast right here, talking to the shoe, was by far the best in-game leader at this event. So yeah, let's hop into the game and see how C9 dynamically changes this strat and what makes it so successful. So here we have the first time that Cloud9 ran this great tactic at the major. It's against Virtus Pro, scores 13-7. They don't necessarily need this round, so I don't know if Cloud9 realizes how powerful the strat is at this point. But you can see it's basically a fast connector split on the A bomb site with two people going quick mid, and one guy goes palace, and two people go A ramp. And the reason why I'm not saying specific names is because sometimes you'll see Stewie go into mid, and you'll see like maybe Tim go halls. They switch up their roles based on their spawns, basically, is what I mean to say. So you can see we have a top mid smoke, and we have Tim and Tarek working mid, right? So you have Tarek flashing behind Tim. Second those flashes go off, he goes out mid. He mollies window. Tarek jumps through the top mid smoke and makes his way towards connector. Tim clears out connector, and when he does that, Tarek then goes connector, and Tim works up catwalk. Okay, so there's a lot of layers to all those movements right there. So the reason why you have Tim waiting top mid until Tarek flashes is because there could easily be an opper, on the railing or opping off catwalk that has the sight down cat, right? So it's really important that Tim waits for the flashes that Tarek's throwing that blow up like behind him, right? So that way Tim has that clear entry up catwalk. The reason why you see Tim going up catwalk first instead of Tarek, just immediate, or maybe even Tim going quick towards connector, right? So the reason why we have Tim going up catwalk is because the normal reaction for a CT in this scenario is to throw a smoke bottom connector. So the guy going up to that connector smoke can't really do anything. So what you want to have happen is someone in Tim's position looking over that smoke while the second guy who's in Tarek's position is ready to potentially go through it, spam him, basically be like the secondary contact on that play. So you can see there's a lot of like layers that have been thought out here. But let's continue watching. So we have Scott and Rush, one of which actually ended up smoking the top of the connector. So the reason for the top connector smoke is to make it feel like a mid default, right? To make it feel like we're not doing a really quick A strat. Please don't over rotate towards the A bomb site. We're just getting mid control like any normal T team would do, right? It's very hard to differentiate that so quickly into the round. And by very difficult, I mean literally impossible, right? You wouldn't be able to tell as a CT playing mid in this scenario whether they're running a fast mid strat or going towards A, or they're just doing just a fast mid default. So that's the reason for that. So you can see Tarek moving up to the smoke, ends up lurking through. Rush walks through the A ramp smoke. Tarek makes contact on Taz under balcony, and immediately there's a pinch on that guy. Sky hears the guy spawn, immediately rotates over to take that angle. Tarek then knows that the third guy would be jungle. And we had Tim aggressively lurking catwalk. Okay? There's a lot of moving parts here, but I think we're going to get the hang of it as we move through the strat several times. So I'm not going to play this specific round over. Let's hop into Vega Squadron now. Okay, guys, so here we have their match against Vega Squadron, the decider match to get out of the challenger stage of the major. And we have the same early round setup. So we have the two players coming towards mid, like I described previously. So we have Tarek and Tim going towards mid. We have Stu coming palace. And we have Rush and Scott going A ramp together, right? So knowing what we saw before, let's see how they play it out this round. So again, Tim is waiting for the flashes into mid, Tarek's flashing behind him. We have a smoke going catwalk. I didn't mention that previously, but you can see the smoke catwalk allows Tim to not be worried about catwalk, right? So those flashes pop, he's mollying inside the window, and there's a smoke top mid that C9 throws. There's a smoke cat that C9 throws. This is that CT smoke that I was talking about from the round before. So you see Tim's pathway is up catwalk, right? He's looking over the smoke. His eyesight is basically clearing all of this right here. But he can't really know for a fact if there's, there's not a guy, say, in this particular corner, which is why it makes it very dangerous for then Tarek to just jump through that smoke, right? So Tim works his way up cat, and you can see he cleared top connector, and now his eyes are set on window, which he previously mollied. Okay, so the C9 players are gathered up by A. Stu is holding behind this palace smoke, which JR just opt rush close A ramp, right? So Ska's playing passively. Here's that top connector smoke that C9 throws to make it look like a default. Tim jumping into the window right there. Ska waiting by ramp because rush just got picked. Okay, so the round's going to play out really slow. Tim gets that kill in window. So you can see the pacing of this round is very, very different. People are moving in different areas at different timings. C9's actively reacting to how Vegas Squadron is playing. Okay, they're not running a 100% set tactic here. All the players understand the gaps that they should take and how they should be moving around the round. Immediately, Stewie comes out of the palace. Ska swings ramp. Together, they get Sarah kills on the A bomb site. Tarek never goes through the top connector smoke, ends up holding middle, eventually lurks through right now, but he's taking his time. He's definitely taking his time right now. His teammates have already secured the A bomb site, and now he's just playing post plant, which is just phenomenal play by Tarek to lurk in the connector like that, not allow a free kill if there was a player in the connector, allow his teammates to be the first contact this time around, even though he isn't a very aggressive player that would typically play that round super aggressively. And then here we have Ska playing under the belt, gets that kill on the A ramp flank, and does not get that last kill. But Tarek ends up getting him. So now let's go to the next opponent that C9 plays to see how they further change up the strat. Alright, let's take a look at the third time that Cloud9 ran the strat. Here we have their next opponent, G2 Esports. Okay, so there's a smoke top mid. We have that coming. There's a smoke catwalk over the wall. The two flashes mid. Tim goes out with those flashes. Again, mollies the window in the same exact way. Again, Tarek jumps through that smoke in the same exact way. Again, we have Stewie and Palace. And again, we have Ska and Rush at the A ramp. Okay, this round's a little bit different because they don't really have much contact at the earliest stages of the round. There's really not much resistance. You can see the G2 player, Shocks moving up catwalk right there to contest automatic. And let's just see how this round's going to play out. So there's Tim moving up onto the railing, looking over the smoke, getting ready to jump in the connector. Tarek gets that early entry on Kenny S top connector. And we're going to go over the wall right now and see how the players react towards the A-bomb site when that kill goes down. So this time we have Tarek being the first point of contact because bottom connector isn't smoked, right? So we have Stewie swinging out of Palace immediately when that kill goes down. Rush and Scott coming up A ramp. Tarek's about to make his way through this smoke, hugging the connector side, the stair side, I mean. And the reason for that is because he believes he just killed the connector player. So the chances of there being a guy on the left side of the smoke as he comes through it, very unlikely. Very unlikely. The likelihood of there being a guy towards the window, definitely greater than if he were to go to the left side. So he makes the right play there. And you can see these guys aggressively pushing the A bomb site now. Tim made the window jump and died. And you can see now their next play is to push spawn. They've gotten 2 kills at the A bomb site. They've killed a connector player and a CT spawn player. Killing that CT spawn player and knowing that the A bomb site is clear, you know that the CTs are playing retake on the site. Potentially either 3 people towards the B site, or the third guy was by jungle that ended up killing Tim, which is the case, and is now rotating spawn. So Stewie takes advantage of this immediately and pushes spawn. This is a great on-the-fly play by Stu to do this. I think he actually dies to Apex here. Not 100%. Yeah. So Stu is actually going to die to Apex here. But what happens is his teammates are here to trade the kill. So Rush trades the kill. Scott again flashes deep spawn to continue the aggression towards CT spawn. They really want to set the tone this match. This is actually super aggressive what C9 is doing. You don't typically see this when you watch tier 1 teams play Mirage, but they had a mindset that they wanted to dictate the pace in this match. And it's very clear if you watch the start of this match that they wanted to make G2 fear them on this map. So they actually run the same strat against G2 later on. So let's see how they changed it up at that point. All right, guys, I think you have a pretty good understanding for what goes on in middle. So now let's start looking at the A bomb site's point of view. And this round's actually slightly different because I believe we're going to have Stu coming through the connector this round. Yeah, so Stu is your man coming through mid. Unlike Tim, who used that top roll to go up cat, Stu is actually going to be, I believe, the guy that ends up going through the connector. And Tarek is going to be the guy that goes up cat in place of Tim. And we see Tim is now in Palace. So the flow of the strat is going to feel very different because, Tim isn't as aggressive as Stu. So let's take a look at how the round changes because of this. So you would think, based on what you see right now, that things could go pretty bad for C9, right? We have Kenny S in the window. We have a guy on Balk. We have Apex hiding towards the A site. And then we have Shocks playing under the Balk, right? It looks like they're running into a buzzsaw here. But let's see how C9 deals with this. So Stu, much more aggressive than, Tarek going through the connector, is just literally full sprinting the entire way right now. After the connector pop flash goes off, gets the entry kill top connector, and look at how the guys come out ramp immediately when Stu gets that kill. So first of all, we have Tarek lurking on cat still. Immediately, you see guy come up ramp, kill that guy, and Tim runs through the palace smoke in sync with that guy dying on the balcony because he knows that he can then get out at that point. Okay, let's actually see what Tarek's up to. Oh, Tarek's actually dead, but he actually died on cat being very aggressive, similar to how Tim was doing. So yet another round, C9 wins all of your opening duels entering this A site, but in large part it's due to how on the same page they all are and understanding, what each kill means and who should be making the play next. So let's check out the next game. Okay, guys, so here we have SK versus Cloud9. This is the semifinal matchup on Mirage, and the score is clearly snowballing in Cloud9's favor. In my opinion, this is my favorite instance of how Cloud9 ran the strat, right? We have the same early round setup, but we really see their understanding of CT rotations and what spotting certain CTs in certain spots would mean when you're playing a tier 1 team, right? So in particular, I like how Tarek and Ska play this round out, so we're going to watch it from their point of views, okay? So the same early round setup, these guys entering mid, and we're going to watch Tarek go up cat here. So the molly window is there. Stu dies to underpass, right? So immediately when Stu dies to underpass, Tarek knows he can get these kills potentially. So he peeks underpass, actually ends up missing the kills right there. But he spots multiple people underpass, right? He knows multiple people are underpass. They immediately recognize SK must be playing a retake A setup. Tim gets that kill on Phelps in spawn. Ska mollies jungle and immediately takes an advanced positioning towards the connector right here. This is like beyond impressive actually, that they're playing so incredibly quick while playing smart CS. So Ska gets that kill connector, and since Tarek saw these people underpass, you'll see Ska actually go further here and actually end up posting on underpass. SK ends up saving this round, so I'm not going to play this round out, but I thought it was really impressive how well coordinated they were. And actually, you can see slightly the strats are evolving a little bit as the tournament goes on, right? So before they were faking a mid default by smoking top connector, now that smoke is actually moving towards jungle for the fast connector split, right? And this is kind of makes the strat appear a little bit differently for CTs. When you see that top connector smoke, you think default, like I stated previously. When you see a jungle smoke, you start to think, okay, this might actually be a fast A split. I should be aware of a fast connector hit here. So they're changing up the look a little bit, and this prevents them from being anti-shotted later in the tournament. So that's why we're seeing slight deviations later in the tournament, which shows, again, Cloud9's maturation, I guess, as a team later in the tournament. Okay, guys, so here's the last time that Cloud9 ran the strat. This is the major finals versus FaZe. Scores 6-1. And again, we're going to see the same early round setup. Two people going towards mid. Guy goes out with the flash. Slightly different again, right? We're later in the tournament, so instead of running everything exactly the same, small deviations, so we have a window smoke being thrown instead of a Molotov. Just very slight deviations. Also, we have Stewie going mid, so he kind of is doing things his own way. You can see when he goes mid, the pacing is a little bit different than, say, when Tarek and Tim are mid together. So I'm going to go over the wall towards the A bomb site now. So just so you guys can see what's happening here. So Tim is waiting for that pop flash towards the connector. Just kind of quickly trying to show you guys. Pop flash goes, and Tim is now entering up the connector. There's that jungle smoke that I was talking about last time. And we have Rush and Scott at ramp. They get that entry on rain close ramp. Stu immediately makes that presence connector. He knows they're post on him connector, so he's now waiting, right? He knows that they're probably looking at him connector. Tim comes out Palace, gets that kill, and now Stu's Q to go. Stu immediately goes through connector right then, jumps away from the cat push, which actually killed Tarek. Goes through the jungle smoke because he knows it's safe. And the reason why he knows it's safe is because guy close ramp died, guy default died, op ticket died. There's a guy shooting him in the back from cat. That's the cat player. He knows one more player is B, thus no one can be jungle, right? Standard Mirage rotations. Okay, guys, so last but not least, I'm going to show you all of the grenades that C9 throws on this strat. So we're going to start off with two thrown here, one by Rush for catwalk, and we're going to watch Tarek throw one for jungle. I guess we could also see the other needs that Tarek throws on the way, and then we're going to hop to a different round where I'll show you guys the rest. So for example, like the top connector smoke and stuff like that. So let's start off here with Rush. So see, backs up into this corner, really easy, just aims here on the black square, jump throw, and that's going to go to catwalk, and he goes towards a ramp. We're going to have Tarek come over towards top mid, and this smoke is going to be for jungle that you're going to see him line up. This is a pretty unique smoke. Not one that many people throw, so it's pretty cool. It's just really easy. He just comes up into this corner, aims in the little wires, and jump through, like so. Flashes down the box for Stu. And this is a pop flash for connector. It's a really strong pop flash. It's also how you would molly connector, typically, if you're running like a mid default. So he throws that, and now he's going to make his way up cat, like we've seen a million times already. So let's hop into the other version of the strat that Cloud9 runs, where instead of smoking jungle, they smoke top connector. And that's pretty much the last smoke. Also, show you guys the top mid smoke. Alright guys, so as promised, here we have the final grenades of the strat. This is going to be Rush smoking top connector as well as the top mid smoke. So this top connector smoke is pretty tricky. I just want to give you guys a warning. So we're going to see Rush come into this corner by a trash can. Right, he has a teammate actually going above him, which is Tarek, to smoke top connector. So, or I'm sorry, top mid. So Tarek has the easy smoke. So you're just gonna aim right there on the antenna, and it's just you let go, smokes top mid. Right, most people know that one, but I thought I'd just throw it in there just in case. Rushes, so he comes, like I said, in front of the trash can right here in the corner. He's gonna aim there, and what you're gonna see is he's gonna slide forward in a crouch. Okay. And he's going to let go when his crosshair hits a certain spot on the rug. Okay? So, keep watching. And looking at this, this might actually be why they changed the strat up a little bit. Because this smoke is a little bit tricky and takes a while to go. So, but yeah, there we have the smoke for top connector. It's a beauty. Really cool. So, I've actually personally never seen that smoke thrown. So, definitely interesting to see something like that thrown on a tactic. Might see me using that in the future. I dig it, Rush. I dig it. Alright, guys. But that's it. Hope you guys can run the strat now. And yeah, try to keep in mind everything that I mentioned in this video when you do run it. By far, the most impressive thing that I saw in this major was their ability to run this strat on so many teams. It's something that Yanko pointed out to me, so I do want to give credit to Yanko because I think he broke this down actually live on stream. We both talked about it when they were in the playoffs, but I thought you guys could enjoy maybe all the different teams that Cloud9 defeated using this strat. Obviously, they didn't beat FaZe in this map, but can't take away their major champions. So congrats to Cloud9. I dare them to run this shit on me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, guys. Please tell me anything you think about the video, any suggestions about future content. Love to hear it. Thanks for watching. Peace. Okay, guys.